everyone. Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About It. Last week, we started a topic, drug abuse, and today it's going to be an interesting one. We'll be going on the street asking people about their views on drug abuse. Does it have a negative effect or positive effect? How does family structure influence drug abuse? What are the things about drug abuse? And most importantly, is it only on youth or on adults too? Does adults also abuse drugs? And also, what are the drugs that are mostly abused? Is it that there are some particular drugs that are mostly abused and other drugs are not abused? Or even herbs are abused? So let's go on the street and ask people about it. Thank you. My name is Esther and this is Let's Talk About It show. So, can you please introduce yourself?
Okay, my name is Victor Kia.
And what do you do?
Okay, I'm a ticketing officer.
Alright, this interview is just short and it's about effects of drug abuse in the society. So, what can you tell us about drug abuse?
Okay, first of all, the word drug abuse, the word abuse it's a negative word in ghetto, so you violate the drugs, the normal prescription the drugs give you. So that in the society, it destroyed the society for this generation coming up. You understand? So like you see all this stuff going on around and a lot of fights and things like that. Most times those things are not just being normal, it's the effect of those drug abuse, and most times people use that to try to remove depression and things, but it doesn't work out. You take those drugs, you get high on it, and you wake up the next morning, find out that, oh, the thing is not going. So it's better to face it than using those drugs to calm it down. And drugs cause violence. It doesn't share love around, you understand, because the society needs peace. So when those people take drugs, especially these are youth, this generation, it ends up with fight, courtesan, and a lot of things. So it's very negative thing to the society.
Well, thank you very much. And I want to ask, can family structure influence drug abuse?
First of all, everything, like you say society, it has to come from family. They say charity begins at home. So family has a very big impact to it. You get? So family has a very big impact to it. And the thing is that it now takes it's from the roots, the parents, you get. So it's not how the parent you treat your child. So just say the society is one family, because every society is family. So if every family is doing well, so I believe it will go round, you understand? So it's just that trail. So if the family should do their part as a good and responsible family, so I believe the youth or the child growing up from that family will, especially if the family are Christians, you get to, because those things in the Bible don't you understand? So it's hard to now, it has to now work with the family to say that, okay, this is it, don't do this, that shall not do all these things, and it's now play effects to the child to now know that, oh, these drugs, you don't abuse it, because if you abuse it, it causes violence, it makes you think rubbish. So that's it.
All right, thank you. And I want to ask, have you experienced being with someone that has abused drug before?
Like I'm a guy, you get, so I move around with a lot of guys, and I've been in that area, you get. So at the point when I had some pain, so I was take some drugs that be recommended for a doctor. So most times those drugs, I have friends that will be like, okay, use those drugs to calm themselves and things, but at the point they could overcome it and don't get addicted to it, you get. So but we all know that it's very wrong, so that's it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Victor. So what's your advice to the youth, and especially to those that are addicted to abuse of drugs?
To those that are addicted to abuse of drugs, first of all, go for rehabilitation, you get. And my advice is that those things people fight, they enjoy it, but it definitely kill the system, definitely going to kill the person. So it doesn't make the life of the lifespan of the person will last long. So either it puts you in trouble or it keeps on putting you in trouble. So that's just it. So my advice is that you stay clear from it.
All right, can you please tell us at least 2 drugs that you know that can be abused? Or can we say it's all drugs generally that?
First of all drugs generally, if you abuse it, there's a side effect to it. So the major drugs that is being banned most times is tramadol. Then there are a lot of drugs, so I won't be saying, but that one is the more popular one, so let me just cheat there.
All right, thank you so much. It's so nice to interview you. I really enjoyed your conversation with us. Thank you.
Okay.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
All right, let's talk about its program, and we would like to interview you about the impact or effect of drug abuse in the society,
Okay.
especially among youth.
Okay.
So, your name, sir, can you introduce yourself?
My name is Obafemi.
Mr. Bafemi, thank you for allowing us or permitting us to interview you.
Okay.
So, what can you say about drug abuse? What do you know about it?
Well, drug abuse is the misuse of drugs. Like you said, this is commonly found among the youths. That doesn't really mean that it's just the youth that abuses drugs. Even in our own little uneducated way, we abuse drugs in one way or the other. Self-medication sometimes can be regarded as drug abuse as well. But there's this deliberate act from the youth whereby they get involved and get adapted to particular drugs. They use those drugs in order to get what they feel they get high. And we've seen several effects in our society. If you look at our society today, you see youth, very young individuals going mad, running, going naked, getting involved in one unbelievable things or the other. Even some of them have gotten to that deteriorating state that bringing them back to the original state is going to take a lot of time, a lot of care, a lot of money. And I wish most of these youth could understand the effect of these drugs to them and how they could stay away from such drugs.
Thank you, sir. I want to ask, would you agree with me that experiences like rape or some bad past experiences can lead one to abuse of drugs?
I will agree that bad experiences could, but I wouldn't say specifically that rape or your negative past events should be responsible for drug abuse. Truly, mentor plays a lot of role in the society. When one is going through trial times, you need someone to confide in, you need someone to talk to, you need somebody to let you know that it is okay it is okay to be down, it is okay to let go of some things. And you see, when you stay in negative mood for too long, depression sets in. It's either you get to that deteriorating state whereby your health, your mental health cannot even withstand the normal standard day-to-day activities any longer, and you realize that you start seeing yourself doing things that you could not even believe that you could ever get involved in. So that's where I would want to relate it to, rather than saying rape or. But no matter what the experience might be, if you share it with someone, they said a problem shared is a problem solved. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Can we say that family structure have influence on abuse of drugs?
Not just only on abuse of drugs. Family influence plays a major role in the society. You see, the Nigeria we are experiencing today is as a result of our individual families. We all keep complaining about the president, complaining about the government, how things are going bad. But I could tell you, if each individuals are kept in that same position, they will repeat the same thing and even do things that are even worse. And this is not far-fetched from the fact that the understanding, the belief of individual family, where you come from, the environment where you have stayed, what you see that people do, and some go scot-free without being punished. Some, for example, look at the effect of Yahoo boys in day-to-day activities. You will now see that Nigerians celebrate people that make others to cry to become rich than celebrating those that actually go through pain, study, work hard to earn their living. So family backgrounds a great impact on the society at large.
Thank you, Mr. Obafe.
Thank you so much.
Please mention one drug that is commonly abused.
I've heard so much about tramadol, and I've never seen the drug. I don't know what it looks like, but at least over the news, even seeing boys around, I've heard so much about that drugs, and I would advise any of you stay away from it. I heard that the drugs is not meant to be abused. It's actually meant to treat. I think it has to do with catarrh or something. So when people get involved in it and get drowsy, when they get drowsy, they feel they are high, maybe doze off, sleep off and all that, get involved in it. Youth should just try as much as possible to stay away from such drugs and related drugs.
So what's your final advice?
My advice is for everyone to, either youth or adults, please stay in as much as you can. Try and stay away from drugs. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Obafe.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Can I please meet you?
Yeah, my name is Adebola Oluwole.
Please, what do you do for a living?
Yeah, I work in a packaging company.
Thank you, sir. Please, we are gathering information on the effect of drug abuse on youth in our society. Can you please tell us your idea on drug abuse effect on youth?
Well, I don't know. I can't say too much about drug abuse or this or that, but the only advice I will have for the youth out there is to keep away from drugs, and at least because drug is something that destroys life and things like that. So I will advise them to keep away from drugs, to be a better person in the society.
You understand? Sometimes you may be feeling headache. You don't know the remote cause of the headache. You are taking headache, but you should have gone straight to address the cause of that headache. So by the time you take much of these drugs, it will have effect in the body.
Thank you very much, sir. How about these local herbs? Can it be abused?
Oh, I don't know what to call local herb because most. Okay.
They call it maybe buying or something like that.
Okay.
So can they be abused?
Okay. The herbs. Really, I think God has made that herb available for use, and thank God, it's not everybody that knows the uses of these herbs. So those who know, I remember those days, even before Christianity, people run after a herbalist. These are called herbalists, the specialists in herbs. They are called herbalists. So they run after them because they know the use of it. Maybe the herb I know, you may not know it. So if you apply it, fine. If it goes, fine. If it is not. But coming to the one that this area, this part of the country where herbs are being commercialized, so you don't know the measure which you take in that can cure your issue. So that's where the problem comes in. But if government can come in, and centralize the control, like they are regulating fuel, they can regulate the production and the prescription of herbs. For now, everybody is taking it the way they like. God forbid, we don't know the cause, the effect of it on our kidney, on our liver, on our organs in the body, but we are just taking it. So I can't say that we, the individuals in the society, the human being, maybe we are right or wrong. It is government. It is their primary responsibility to come in and regulate it. Just as they have NAFDAC, they have NDLEA, so many other things like that. Let them come and regulate it. Let them create, if it's possible, let them create a factory that can produce this thing and put it under adequate prescription for people to consume. No, that is what I see about it.
Thank you, sir. For a youth that has once abused drug or that is still abusing drug, what could be the effects when the youth grow old?
If they start early to abuse these drugs, definitely, you know, it's like when you are taking much of this marijuana and all the rest, it gives you, what it gives youth is lack of concentration. They will not concentrate, they won't focus. That's why you see most elderly at their 70s, they are still doing security job. At 70, they are still doing security job. Some of them, you will see, they've married several times. The woman doesn't stay with them. Those are the effects. And even if they eventually have children, it's in their gene. They will carry it over from their parents, and they continue like that. Therefore, I'm seeing a generation that is coming, that this generation will no longer be focused. They won't be serious. They won't be focused. They won't be serious. I take, for example, in the era of Sodom and Gomorrah, when things were going haywire, and God decided to wipe it away and leaving only one family. The time of Noah, you know all these things. So if the consequence gets to that, the Creator of heaven and earth will intervene. But I'm not seeing it getting better. Because the youth actually, they feel that it gives them energy. They feel that it gives them boldness. But the consequence is lack of concentration. You plan something today, tomorrow you forget what you just planned today. And you begin to do everything the way you like. So it's going to bring a future, an unstable future, unserious generation. That's what I see about it.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
What's your advice on youth that are into abuse of drugs or those that just want to start it?
Well, my advice is that anything that is called abuse is an abuse. Let them start from that word, abuse. Let them begin to reorientate their mind and make things moderate for themselves. I heard one time, I don't know whether it is true, that before doctors go into what is it called, the room where they do operation, some of them charge so that they will be able to withstand, they will be able to accommodate the inconveniences in operating human being. Well, if that is what they do, which I am yet to confirm, is for a reason. Some people probably cannot drive so long without snuffing tobacco because they said it's good for their eyes. But all these things should be done moderately. I've seen where vehicles get accident on the road because the driver or the conductor was taking Indian hemp, so he lacked concentration. So my advice to the youth that are trying to go into it, let them have serious education. If it's a youth that is living with their complete parents, both father and mother, I think they should be able to hear from them. They should be, that is where they will start their own education. Hear from them, and then know the consequences of all these things so that they will not enter it. But those that are really into it now, I think this is the best time for them to reduce whatever they are doing so that they will have enough concentration in their thinking, focus, to be able to train their children and children, you know, just continue like that because the effect is very bad.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
So this last question, can family structure influence children or youth in abusing drugs?
Yes, it do influence. Family structures do influence. Growing up, it's an abomination for a lady to have a child in her parents' home. But now it's like it's the norm. You have in your father's house. They feel that that child was brought out of corruption, out of sexual immorality. So those days they will advise people not to indulge it until they get married. But now you see people getting married, keeping boyfriend, girlfriends everywhere, and they are having children that are not well trained. So the family value is even being destroyed. It's not every youth you see on the road now that is under parents. Some of them sleep under the bridge. Some of them sleep inside market. So I don't think that all of them are under the family coverage. But for those who are under the family coverage, I'm sure, I'm very, very sure, they are going to be very, very different from those that are engaged in this thing. And sometimes for the youth, it's out of frustration. They are doing all this rubbish. So there's nothing good about it. Let families talk to their children. Those who are under families. Those who are not under families, well, let them leave it to faith. I think the best thing the church have done is having enough of branches where people can just go in and hear the word of God. But if they refuse to go in, there's nothing one can do. Thank you very much.
Hello, Ma. Can we meet you, please?
Good afternoon. My name is Bolade.
Oh, please, what do you do for a living?
I'm a student.
Oh, that's good. Please, we are gathering information regarding drug abuse
Okay.
among youth nowadays. What can you tell us about drug abuse?
Although drug abuse, like everyone says, is the illegal taking of drugs, but to me, my own definition is drug abuse can be like overtaking the drugs. It might be good drugs, the drugs that the doctors prescribe to use, but you take it too much, excessively taking of drugs. That's what I mean.
Thank you about that.
Yes.
So what do you think is the effect of drugs on youth behavior, especially?
Peer pressure. Most of the time it's actually peer pressure. When they see their friends taking it, they feel, oh, they want to be energized, they want to be high, or it helps them to read, which is not true because all these things have side effects.
Okay, we have some students that takes caffeine just to keep them awake, to read overnight. Some of them use it just to be eager, to be active among their friends, to increase their self-esteem. Some of them use it for or any other drugs for sexual purpose. What's your advice or what's your take on this?
I don't believe in using drugs to do anything. If you want to read, you read. If you want to stay awake to do something, you will. Just don't take drugs. It's not good. Say no to drug abuse. That's it.
Oh, thank you. And finally, please, we would like to know if there's any alternative you want to advise our youth on other than drug abuse.
They should go for therapy sessions with doctors. They should go for therapy sessions with doctors, and they should see doctors literally. Just see doctors.
And for youths that are addicted to the use of drugs, what's your advice on them? Or what way how do you think is applicable for them?
They should also see their doctors. They should see their doctors.
Okay, do you think family influence has anything to do with drug abuse, or can it help a drug addict?
Well, it depends on how you're close to the family member or the relative. It depends on how close, because most people that are addicted to drugs, they don't like opening up. They keep it to themselves. They're always quiet. They don't do anything that they'll suspect them about.
All right, thank you very much for your time. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Hello, brother. How are you?
I'm fine.
Please, can we meet you?
I'm along to the boardroom by name.
Sorry?
I'm along to the boardroom by name, a member of CAC Sheraton Assembly.
Oh, thank you. Looking at you, you resemble one footballer I know. Do you play football?
Yeah, I once played football when I was young. It was once my pleasure.
Oh,
It was something I like.
So please, we are gathering information regarding the use of drug all drug abuse among youth. Can you tell us what your knowledge about drug abuse?
Oh, I just think the generation we are now, I remember the president of the Federation once described the youth as a lazy youth. Maybe it's partially right because most youth nowadays don't have confidence. Most of them believe in a bit drug, like they don't have the self-confidence and they don't have the self-esteem like to do what they want. So most of them believe with the help of drug, it takes them, you hear them using the slang, they're in cloud nine. It builds their confidence, which I think is bad.
Okay. If we look at different areas that are used, make use of a drug. Some people use it to increase their confidence. Some use it for sexual ability to increase their strength. Some people just find fun in it. Do you think it really benefits them, or what do you think could be the impact of the drugs on it?
I think they call it drug abuse. So I think anything abuse has no any good effects. Anything abuse has no good impact on the body system. Like it's just like taking all this drug, like all these drugs they used to they say cough syrups. Like when you use it, there are usage for these things, maybe 2 spoons, 1 spoon. But anytime you take the excess, it means it's an abuse. And anything in excess, anything that is an abuse has a bad influence on the body and it can damage the body system anytime.
Okay, thank you for that. Can you please give us in one word what's your advice for youth?
What I would just advise, I advise you to stay away from drug, and I will advise parents, like people need more love. You don't condemn your children, make them feel love at home. Everybody needs love. With love on board, there's no limit to what can be achieved. Anyone feeling depression, with love on board, you can get over abuse.
Okay, thank you. And finally, please, we would like to know if there is any alternative to drug abuse.
Alternative?
Or do you think therapy could replace drug abuse?
Like
therapy. Someone with low self-esteem.
I just think it's all about family. The people that you love, the people that loves you, have all influence in your life. Because with love, God created this world out of love. So with love on board, nothing is impossible. Because our God is love.
Thank you very much. We are happy to have you.
You're welcome.
And we wish you best of luck in whatever you do.
Thank you.
Good day, sir. Please, can we meet you?
My name is Tunjijo.
Thank you. Please, we are trying to get people's idea on drug abuse. Can you please tell us what you know about drug abuse?
Drug abuse is a very bad thing. We are talking about drug abuse. We are talking about using of illicit that affects the human body. You know, nowadays we notice that our youth, they are into it a lot, taking a lot of things like conke, heroin, overuse of cough syrup, blood tonic, and a lot of things like that. And it's what is bringing us insecurity, according to what the information we are getting, the intelligence we are gathering among the people. Drug abuse is something that is very dangerous in our society today. It's very, very dangerous, and it affects our youth, most especially in the northern part where we have a lot of insecurity. The sources of the insecurity, we can, let's say, is part of drug abuse.
Oh, thank you very much for that. But we have some people that told us that they take drugs to improve their confidence. Do you think taking drugs like caffeine or tramadol helps to increase confidence?
No. To me, it's totally wrong for somebody to be taking hard drug to be confident, to build confidence. You know, when I was in the school, I also experienced this because I have some friends that if you are coming to class, they would like to take some things so that they'll be able to ask any question from a lecturer. If they want to answer a question, they build their confidence, but it later leads to what they did not expect. So to take a drug because they want to get confidence or to be bold is very, very wrong, and is a damage to our health system.
Oh, thank you very much for that. And what can you advise our youth of these days regarding drug or taking of different kind of drug. Some people find pleasure in it because they believe that it's pleasurable just to have fun.
Yeah. My advice to our youth of today is that they should think about their health. That's number one. When you are alive, that's when you can become what you are dreaming of. And drug is a substance that can damage the whole system, our health, our future. It makes some people go crazy. Some people behave abnormally. Somebody that is having sex with 2 years, 3 years, you can see that the result of hard drugs. Somebody that is carrying gun to kill somebody, somebody that tied bomb to him or herself. That is the consequence of drugs. So my advice to you, the Nigeria youth or everywhere in the whole world, is that they should desist from drugs. Hard drugs is a very bad thing that leads to death. Death in career, death in nature, death in our vision, death in our future, death in every area of our life. So hard drug is something that is not advisable for our health.
Well, thank you very much. We really appreciate your time.
Once again, thank you for watching us. Don't forget, let's talk about it. If you have any contribution, comment, or what you want us to talk about, any topic you want us to discuss about, please kindly send on our Facebook account, CAC Sheraton on Facebook, CAC_Sheraton on Instagram, CAC_Sheraton on YouTube, and CAC Sheraton on Twitter. Thank you for watching. Bye.